Nelly, first and foremost, man, I want to go ahead and just give you a shout out for articulating a long post that really goes through all of the accolades. And I want to thank you for all the various ways that both you and Snoop Dogg have contributed to our community. Boom. Let's go ahead and set that to the side. What the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Let's be honest, bro. Like, seriously. Let me start with an analogy. You do have a beautiful wife. Let's say that one of your closest friends, one of your homies, made a sexual advance towards that beautiful black wife. Would you just be cool with it? Would you not be upset? Should you remember all the times that he had your back, all the fights that you all have had, all the money that he's loaned you over the years, all the good things that he's done for you, all the time that y'all used to be out in the streets together and y'all was running after women and chasing tail and just whatever, all the long list of accolades? Should you be placing that above the fact that today he made a move that actually places all of those past accolades in jeopardy? Should we just ignore what you just did because of all the past good deeds that you all have experienced? As ridiculous as that sounds, is how ridiculous you sound right now to me. Just because you did good stuff in the past does not absolve you of any responsibility of what you do today. And furthermore, I will add that in reading all of those things that both you and Snoop did, that even undermines the fact of why the community is so pissed at you, because we expected more from you, bro. Think about that for a second. You'd be more pissed at your best friend making a sexual advance at your black wife than you would some regular Joe Schmo on the street. Why? Because you expected more loyalty, because he's supposed to understand the value that she has to you. And he's supposed to respect and value you all's relationship and you all's past friendship. He's supposed to place that above whatever temporary thing that he's currently trying to pull off. So miss me with the ignore what I do today and remember everything that I did yesterday, because it's just not logical, bro. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can acknowledge that, yeah, you all have done a lot of great things in the past. And on some levels, we considered you legends, and then say you made a boneheaded dumbass move, bro. Let's just be completely honest. And the fact that you keep trying to twist and contort, you're gaslighting us, because the same way in that same scenario that I just gave you, it made absolutely no sense. And you would be pissed off and you would have words with your friends and will probably disassociate yourself from them, because you would say that the person he is today clearly is not the person that I once loved. We in a different space now. I got to give you space, bro. I'm cool on you. It's the same way that we cool on you right now, because it was a boneheaded ass move. And it's one of those kind of moves that history is going to remember. And yeah, we gonna hold you accountable. And until you can even apologize and just acknowledge what the hell it was, we damn sure are gonna continue to hold your feet to the fire. So miss me with that, bro. It enraged me every time that I see him popping up on my news feed. And then I go into the comment section and I see other clowns trying to somehow make sense of this. And I'm like, no. But I say all of this, and the one thing that I did not realize was that Nelly got a TV show that just came out. Nelly has a reality show that just started airing recently. And a key part of this reality show is this whole interaction where the cameras were going and it caught this entire interaction. Got the wife sitting there, got, the mom sitting there, and the whole back and forth. Well-lit cameras, great coloring. I could tell it's some money. It's on Peacock. So that means that it was some money that went behind it. It's well produced. It looked like the Love and Hip Hop, but just on another level, because we got NBC money now. And then I said, oh, would you look at that? There it is. Okay. All right. I got you. You're grifting. You're grifting. You got me, bro. You got me. Kudos on that, because I did not realize that you were grifting. Right now, it all makes sense. It was content. I could not figure out for the life of me why this rapper that has not made a song since Drop Down and Get Your Eagle On is running the airwaves. I was just like, Nelly came out of nowhere and he will not go away. Like, how did he even get invited to this thing? You know what I mean? Like, it just, nothing about it made sense. Like, this dude was the most quiet, unproblematic dude on the planet. And now all of a sudden, I got to feel strong feelings about Nelly. And it was just like, I didn't get it until I saw this show. And I was like, okay, this is a part of your PR campaign because everybody is grifting nowadays. And you, of course, aligned yourself with the head grifter in chief, the man who pretty much, now let me tell you something. It's a lot about this man that I abhor, that I find just, I cannot stand. But if I'm going to give that man credit at anything, he is the best to have ever done it in that regard. Nobody grifts better than Trump. Nobody can get attention better than that man can, whether he likes the product or he hates the product. If he mentions the product, it is going to take off. I've never seen someone with a Midas touch the way that that man does. I recall a story. She was the former journalist that used to be on Fox News, Megyn Kelly. And she tells this story about this contentious interaction that she had with Trump during one of the debates where they had a pretty vicious exchange and she was heated. She said, you know, blood was boiling and everything. She said when the cameras was off, Trump came up to her afterwards and was like, hey, you know that you're about to take off now and that like your name is about to fly to the stratosphere. Use it. Right. And she talks about this and she just kind of gave some insight, a little behind the scenes as it relates to his character. While I do believe that he's losing marbles and many of the things that he does is idiotic, like it does make you question how much of this really is just an elaborate grift. How much of this is just the fact that he knows how to curry attention better than anyone that we have ever seen. And when those cameras are off, he knows, okay, and now here comes the real fun part, because we live in a day and age where everybody's attention is being monetized. So much, in fact, that these social media applications are paying regular everyday people. Like you don't have to be the content creator. You don't have to be an influencer now. You can literally have 250, 300 followers and they may send you an invitation to get enrolled in their monetization program. And as a result, what that has done is it makes everybody turn into purveyors and producers of clickbait. See, back in the day when you used to click on clickbait, it took some effort to grift, right? Because you had to know how to set up the website. You had to know how to create the blog that will pull people in, even if it was fake stuff. You had to know how to have Google ads. You really had to set up a system and then push that stuff out on all of these channels because your goal was trying to farm people and get them back to your website. But now we are in a space where you don't have to go through all of those steps to be able to grift. And we are being incentivized to just push content because the only thing that these platforms care about is your attention. And so they don't care if you lie. They don't care if you plagiarize. They don't care what it is that you do. But if you can get people to engage with that post, they have now entered into a profit sharing mechanism that will incentivize you and compensate you and pat you on the back and say, hey, good job, do it again. And so that's why now when you start to scroll through your news feed, everything is attempting to get you outraged. It's not just because people are being nefarious and people are no longer doing it just because they want the attention. They're doing it because they are getting a check. They are getting a check. And it is just such a fascinating / dangerous space that we are in. Last week, when we spoke about it, I said that we are going to have to fight for reality. We are going to have to fight for reality almost on some Terminator 2 type shit. Eventually, we probably physically actually go there. But before we actually get to the robots, just with the introduction of artificial intelligence and how it's being utilized, even at this early stage, we are going to have to fight for reality. We're going to have to fight to show that we actually care what's truth and what's real. We are going to have to put forth the extra effort to be able to decipher when someone is attempting to mislead us. We are going to have patience with our emotions and not be reactionary. So, what my buddy was talking about when it comes to groupthink, as much as I can sometimes push back because of the people that normally like to use that groupthink mechanism, the reality of it is that it is something that we do have to be cautious of, because even as it relates to being Black and the tenets that oftentimes our community is built off of, unfortunately, it does make us easy targets. Think about these high fashion brands, how every once in a while, if they ain't getting enough attention, what do? They go ahead and do some accidental racist shit, right? They release something that's got like a blackface character in the name of fashion. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know we're going to get outraged. They know that that's for a period is going to run the news feed, and they're going to capitalize off of it, because whether you love them or you hate them, you're talking about them. And it's driving attention to their brand. Free publicity. And everybody is doing it now, man. Everybody is doing it. Nelly is doing it. Make no mistake about it. Snoop, more than likely, doing it. Now, does that mean that we give them a pass as a community? I don't think so, because I personally don't respect that. I personally don't respect someone that says, let me take advantage of the emotions and the thoughts and the concerns of the community because I'm trying to get this bag. And I get it. If that's what y'all own, if that's how people move, then I got to let other people be that way. I see so many people taking shortcuts. I see so many people stealing people's content. They do the side-by-side video and they pointing at it. They don't say nothing the whole time or whatever, but they pointing at it. Meanwhile, the person that's doing the pointing ain't said nothing, ain't added no value to it, just got your crusty ass face pointing towards somebody else's effort. And somehow you got more attention than the original person that actually created the content. So it's been going on for a moment. We've already shown the algorithm. We've already shown these platforms that we do not care about quality. We do not care about authenticity. We don't care whether the thing that we are watching actually comes from the creator, or as long as it gets to us, right? As long as it can keep our attention. And it's like, it's cool for now because the content is entertaining. But what happens when the creatives stop creating? What happens when the truth tellers stop telling the truth because you don't care either way it goes? Then we find ourselves in some clusterfuck situation trying to figure out how we got here. And you want to know what the answer is going to be? One step at a time. One gradual step at a time. They didn't just pull this wool over you overnight. It happened. It was a slow erosion. It started with just faking and, flossing a little bit on social media. Going broke, trying to impress the Joneses, knowing that you was going to suffer for the remainder of the month because you did that. Like, it's just, it's little things. It's little things. And then all of a sudden you get to this space where it's like, we don't even know what reality is anymore. We don't even care what reality is anymore. And again, man, we got an administration that is capitalizing on this. Man, they are capitalizing off the fact that we've shown that we don't care about the truth. It's just a dangerous place, man, for us to be in, man. And I'm telling you, like, we got to fight for reality, and that means that those people that are those truth tellers, those people that you do feel that you can trust to tell you the truth, you also have to go hard in the paint for them. You got to support them. You got to be intentional when it comes to them, right? Because if you rely on that news feed to give you information, if you rely on the media to educate you, it is going to control you, and the stuff that it's going to give you is probably not going to be the things that's actually beneficial, So, yeah, man, it means that we got to put forth the effort, man. But I mean, we come from a stock of people that this is kind of commonplace for us, right? But it does mean that we are going to have to work out some muscles that we haven't had to use for a while.